Singers and singerettes, let's sing pop, 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 pop. What's going on, guys? Happy Friday. My name is Dave Trevor. I almost forgot my name. I know who I am. I'm Dave Trevor. What's going on, guys? Happy Friday. Welcome. This is part of Sing Your Style series. This is Singing Tips 31. We're going to be learning about pop music, okay, guys? It's the most annoying and yet also at the same time the most marketable music out there. So here we go. So, what is pop music? Well, pop music is basically pop. It stands for popular. It stands for popular type of music. It stands for the music that's out there that's being played on the radio. Does it mean that pop music is necessarily good? Well, I think that really depends on your personal style or your personal opinion or preference. It's really in the eye of the listener, or it's really in the ear, rather, of the listener. So that's what I would say. So there you have it. Now, I want to talk about this because I was explaining how in the last lesson I was going to talk about it in this particular lesson. And it's the idea of how pop music is simple. Well, why is it simple? The reason pop music is simple is it has to sell. It has to be able to make a profit. It has to be able to get off the shelves. When CDs were very popular, pop music would sell like crazy. Now that CDs are not really selling, pop music still sells, but it sells on the internet and it sells in downloadable fashion nowadays. And it's always been that way. You can look through the decades. Pop music has been around since the Beatles, believe it or not. If you were to look at old Beatles, like their very first, I'd say about 10, 15 songs that the Beatles did, all pop songs, easy to remember, like I wanna hold your hand, I wanna hold your hand. That's pop music. It's like very simple. It's like, and I tell you something. It's like, it's very catchy, it's boppy. It can also be kind of annoying. I'll get more into that aspect later in the lesson. So that's what I wanted to share with you guys. Now, one of the things I was going to mention was that pop music is catchy, but is it catchy, is it annoying, or both? And the answer is, well, that's kind of a tricky one. And actually, I need to do this real quick, sorry. I don't want to lose you guys. I'd hate to lose you guys in the frame. That'd be terrible, right? There we go. That's better. Okay, now we're all on the same page. Okay. This is what I get because I don't have editing software. But someday I will have editing software and then you won't have to worry about that. Anyways, so pop music, is it catchy, is it annoying, or is it both? Or is it all three? The answer that I can give you is yes, yes, and yes. But to break it down, I'll make it simple. So if something's catchy, it has to be memorable. It has to be able to be remembered. I'm sure lots of you guys know, like, hit me, baby, one more time. I could sing in Britney's key. Britney Spears, hit me, baby, one more time. Very catchy. The chorus is very catchy. That is pop music. Now, if you're annoyed by it, it will be rememberable and it will be able to be catchy, and you'll be like, oh, that song again. A perfect example of this, I have two. The first one is the song Baby by Justin Bieber. Baby, 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 oh, baby. Let me sing in his octave. Sorry, guys, it's been a long time since I sang in these higher octaves, so it would sound like this. Baby, 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 oh. Yeah, there you go. Kind of lame, I think, but again, if you're a Bieber fan, don't kill me, Bieber fans. I know you guys are hardcore out there, but that's what you guys should know and you guys should understand. Another one is a great example with NSYNC. They did this one song called Bye Bye Bye. It was one of the very first songs that really put Justin Timberlake on the map when he was still with NSYNC. But baby ain't no lie, baby bye bye bye, and even had a little dance, a little catchy dance that went with it. But very annoying, but at the same time extremely catchy, and it sold millions and millions of copies. I mean, the single sold more than the actual units of CDs. Kind of an interesting thing to think of. So there you go. That's what I mean by that. Also, going along with this Baby, I did some research, and this isn't necessarily part of anything, but I thought you guys might find this interesting. The song Baby, the one that Justin Bieber supposedly wrote, is a ripoff of a 1950s song called Ooh Baby. You don't believe me? Look it up. I'm sure there's YouTube videos on it by now, but I heard about this on the radio, and then the DJ was talking about it, and he had Baby playing, and then he had the 1950s one. The 50s one goes like this: oh baby, 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 go up, baby, baby. And then Justin Bieber's goes, baby, 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 oh. Hear the difference? Yeah, you can hear the difference a little bit, but guess what? That's because it's marketable. It has to be packaged properly. So this runs perfectly into what I want to talk about next, which is pop music packages the artist. And I don't mean like they take the artist and they wrap them up in a little bow and tie them all together and send them off and ship them to Singapore. Of course, maybe with some of those artists, it might be a good idea to do that. No, I'm just kidding. Anyways, what packaging means is it's how the artist is marketed. It's basically how the artist is put together. Everything from how he's dressed, how he or she's dressed, how he or she looks, the style, the age, what hair color they have, what kind of clothes they wear, what kind of extracurricular activities they do. Are they druggies? Are they, do they smoke? Do they not smoke? Are they Christian? I mean, there is a lot that goes into packaging the artist. So why is it done? Well, it's done because what you're trying to do is you're trying to make the artist as a musician look more attractive. And one of the best persons that's been packaged recently, very recently, is Justin Bieber. You know, guys, like him or hate him, he really has been packaged well, because you knew as soon as he came out, that's Justin Bieber. You know, that's the guy from YouTube. That's the kid that can play all the instruments and stuff like that. And along with that, he's got a good personality. You know, he gets along with all the people. He gets along with most of his clientele. He's an extremely smart businessman. He's very, very well packaged. That's what packaging is. It means marketing. Now, what happens if it's done incorrectly? Well, one of the things that can happen if it's done incorrectly is you have what's called like one-hit wonders. And a great example of a one-hit wonder that I was thinking of growing up, there was this group called Hanson. It was these three blonde kids. I guess they were attractive to girls. I don't know. I thought they looked ridiculous with their hair, but that was when I was growing up. That was when I was in, like, you know, middle school, early high school. But they had this one song called Bop. Perhaps you've heard of it. I'll sing the chorus so you guys can remember, but it's like bop, bop, ba doo wop, dibba da ba boom bop. I hate singing this song, but this is so you guys understand it. So yeah, yeah, bop. I look ridiculous. I don't care. Pop music is ridiculous. It can be ridiculous. So there you have it. Mbop. But anyways, Mbop was one of those songs that Hanson did, and the problem was that Hanson was not very well packaged. They had the right idea and they had the right concept, but then they had no songs after it. So guess what happened, guys? They were a one-hit wonder. They tried and they tried and they tried and they tried to have like more than one hit, but everyone would always remember him from Mbop. There you go. That is what I mean by poor packaging, and pop music uses it more than any other music genre out there. It's interesting though, because in the last, I'd say like 5 to 7 years, there's been this huge flux and huge push towards making other musics more packaged. Like you've got more rap and R&B doing that. You've got more rock and metal doing that. You've got a lot of country packaging their artists a lot differently, like Lady Antebellum, Carrie Underwood, Rascal Flatts. Not that I have anything against those artists, but what I'm saying is those are the artists that are packaged very well. So you're going to notice that with pop music, though, in particular, and I know I am repeating myself, but I want to really get this point across, packaging is where the money lies. So there you guys go. So then how do you do it? Like, what's some of the important things if you're going to be singing this particular style? Well, the first thing that I can say is that the words are important. And what I mean by that is that pronunciation, which is you going and saying the words so that the words are easily understood, is very important, and so is enunciation. Enunciation is a more technical term, but you're going to hear it a lot when they're talking about singing. And enunciation means that you're spitting and chewing your words. It's not quite to the extent of like Broadway or musical theater, because with Broadway musical theater, remember, like I said, you're wanting to really convey that message to the back of the house, to the audience in the very, very back row. And if you guys have a question about that, or kind of like, what are you talking about? Go ahead and look here in the boxy box, and you're going to find a lesson entitled Sing Your Style Musical Theater. So the words are important. So you want to realize that the music is going to sound bright. So in musical theater, I'm going to use an example of Happy Birthday. And hey, today is my birthday. So anybody else out there that has a June 3rd birthday, happy birthday to you as well. I just had to get that out there because I've been having a really good day. But here's what Happy Birthday would sound like musical theater, and then I'll show you what it sounds like in pop music so you guys can kind of differentiate between the two sounds, okay? So Happy Birthday in musical theater would sound like this. Notice the forwardness of the sound, how in front of the teeth it is. So here's musical theater, so it would sound like this. Happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday dear Dave, and also blankety blanks. Happy birthday to you. See how it's very forward? That's musical theater. But pop is a little bit pulled back, but it's still quite in the mouth and in the teeth area. So pop would sound like this, and you are going to hear a little bit of a difference. So pop would sound more like this. Happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday dear Dave and blankety blanks across the nation and world. Happy birthday to you. See how the U sounded different and the birthday was more like that, but it wasn't like birthday. That is the differentiation between what pop sounds like and what musical theater sound like, and you have to remember not to get them confused and get them bunched up into the same group or same category, especially when you're trying to sing that particular style. So I hope that makes sense for you guys. If you guys have any sort of comment or question about that, leave me one in the comment section below, okay? Awesome. So yeah, words are in front, like you can see them in the teeth, but remember, again, it's not as much as musical theater. And that's pretty much it. I mean, the style, all that stuff, a lot of these styles that are doing in pop music, they all sound the same. Even stuff in metal and rock. I can't think of any really good metal or rock pop bands on the top of my head, but I know they're out there, and I know that more are coming because this is the stuff that's radio friendly. It may not be artistic, it may not be very talented, it also may not show a whole lot of creativity, but guess what? It sells, and that's why it's on the radio. So, along with that, here's some further study for you guys to check out more stuff in regards to pop music. The ones that I put down are not a complete list, and also if you guys think of more, go ahead and leave me in the comment section below. I love reading them because they're like, oh, how could you forget this guy, and how could you forget this guy? I do. I don't have 50 minutes to say all the artists that are in a particular category, but I love your responses regardless. Go ahead and leave them for me in the comment section below, okay guys? Awesome. So yeah, some further studies. So the first one is probably the biggest one that's really selling the most. I mean, her Vivo channel here on YouTube is astounding with how many views it's got and how many views each video gets. It gets, close to like 60 to 80 million views, and that is Lady Gaga. She's doing something that's a little more out there as far as pop music goes, but Lady Gaga does pop. And along with that, her predecessor, or the one that she definitely learned from, would be Madonna. So Madonna's a good one. A new one that's really starting to take notice would be Katy Perry. Katy Perry had really bubblegum type stuff, but now she's trying to branch off and do more stuff that Lady Gaga's doing. But again, still very poppy. You've got the Beatles, old stuff, like I was talking about. Some of their older songs that are really, really pop type music. You've got I Want to Hold Your Hand. You've got 8 Days a Week. You've got Help. You've got... well, those are 3 good songs right there. Look those up. Go ahead and Google those if you guys are interested in any of that stuff, because these are the grandfathers of not only pop music, but also boy bands. Believe it or not, whether you'd like to believe it or not, the Beatles are the first boy band. Think about it. You got 4 guys, they're playing instruments, and the girls are screaming like crazy. Sounds like a pretty good definition of a boy band if you ask me. Again, that's just my opinion. If you guys disagree, go ahead and leave me a comment in the comment section below, and who knows, maybe start up a discussion, but... I think I know what I'm talking about on this one, okay? Going into, here's some more obvious pop right now is Justin Bieber. You've got Britney Spears. You've got NSYNC. You've got Hanson. Hanson, I put those guys down because that's an example of what not to do and how to become a one-hit wonder. You've got U2, which is a pretty good rock one, believe it or not, because their CD, I think it's called It's a Beautiful Day. It's also a single. That's a great example of what pop rock sounds like. And some of their older stuff, the Joshua Tree, is very pop rock too. It was a little more alternative and experimental, but that's what pop rock sounds like. Moving along with that, you've got Coldplay, but not their older stuff, their newer stuff. Their older stuff was a lot darker and a lot more experimental. Their newer stuff is really kind of poppy. I still kind of like it, but Coldplay is a really good example. And finally, the biggest one I can think of as far as like the alternative, like the new kind of like post-rock, post-garage band type sound that's really capitalizing on also this kind of electronic-y kind of sound would be 303. So there you have it. Those are the ones for further study. So yeah, there you guys go. Kind of a simple lesson. I know there's not a whole lot to it, but there's not a whole lot to pop music because it's popular. It's simple. It's not meant to be fancy or amazing or anything like that. So there you guys go. If you guys think I missed anything, leave me a comment in the comment section below. Okay, so next lesson we're going to go back to music roots. We're going to go back to country. Yeehaw! We're going to learn what's the subject matter of country. We're going to learn what the heck is twang. We're going to learn how blues ties in with country and a whole lot more. So yeah, thanks again for watching, guys. My name is Dave Trevor. Again, happy birthday to all those June 3rd babies out there. If you guys want, you can find me and follow me on Facebook right here. You guys can also find and follow me on Twitter right here. And if you guys haven't already, subscribe. You got the big yellow button up top, big yellow button on the bottom, and I will talk to you guys later. Take care.